Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to the second part of tonight's session. We keep on advancing on all the things that we have to do. Well, I hope that you finished creating your story from yesterday. I'm sure that you remember that based on the general idea, we were talking about the narrative tenses, and the intention was to enrich it, a little bit more. But that is not what I want to talk about tonight. Just to clarify this aspect, because it is an administrative element, I'm going to say this in Spanish. Ya oficialmente quedó organizado lo referente al speaking. Fueron pocos los nombres que tuve que colocar, digamos, de forma arbitraria, quizás sea la palabra, pero como les decía, yo simplemente tomaba la lista, persona que falta espacio en blanco, persona que falta espacio en blanco y listo, ya no se puede editar. De todas maneras, quisiera que revisaran, que confirmaran que ahí salen sus nombres, los revisé. Creo que me cercioré que ningún nombre está repetido, pero no está de más que ustedes también le den la miradita para asegurar que no hay ninguna confusión. Eso por esa parte. Ya sabemos que el próximo jueves, en la segunda parte de la sesión, la primera parte es el examen, digamos la parte escrita, y luego tendremos la parte del speaking. Entonces, ese es el primer detalle como a tener en cuenta. Igual, antes de la sesión número 10, mi planeado es en la sesión número 9, darle una mirada como a lo que son los parámetros en general. Obviamente lo que son las preguntas y las situaciones no se las voy a compartir, sino hasta que llegue el momento del speaking. Pero bueno, ya por lo menos tenemos una idea de con quién vamos a estar trabajando. Igual, guys, ustedes saben que la nota es individual. ¿Listo? Entonces ya quedó así la información. Igual ustedes pueden ingresar al link. No es que esté oculto, simplemente ya no se puede editar. Y pues esas son las personas con las que van a estar trabajando. That is going to be like the first aspect to keep into account. Well, I don't know, guys, if you have any question from this part.
Not sure any question.
Okay, I use all you guys see your names. Of course, I know that in your WhatsApp group, probably you already talked about this before. So in case that you have any question or something, let me know. I think that up to this point, these are the names because you are 23. And I really, really hope that all of you can take the speaking that day. Well, that would be for that part. As usual, let me take attendance so we can start with tonight's activity and topic, which is related to crime and punishments. But we will have a look at that in a moment. Today is 24. Saray Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Cristian Albarracín.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Andrés Álvarez.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Joelia Ayala.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrea Vaca.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Gilbert Cárdenas.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. John Carrero.
Good evening, teacher.
Hello, John. Brian Cordero. Not here for the moment. Let's continue. Stephanie Córdoba. Not here. Silvia Durán.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Ay. Sí. Freddy Fonseca.
I am here.
Okay. Judy Lisette Liscanon.
I'm here.
Okay. Diana Lozada. Well, Diana looks it's not here. Daniela Lozada. Not here. Next. Andrea Juliana Muñoz.
Present teacher.
Okay. Natalie Pérez.
Here teacher.
Okay. Mayra Juliet Pinzón.
Present teacher.
Okay. Mayra Alejandra Plata.
Here teacher.
Okay. Harold David Rodríguez. Let me see. Ah, okay, right. Of course, Brian is already here. I saw Harold, but I guess he's having problems with the connection. Let me change the attendance of Brian and then let me check if Harold is already here. Angélica Stephanie Sandoval.
Hi teacher.
Hi, Angélica. Daniela Fernanda Sierra.
Hi teacher.
Hello. Ana María Velasco.
Hi teacher.
There you are, Ana María. And Jennifer Jimena Vera.
Here teacher.
There you are. Harold, are you here?
Yes, teacher. Yes, right.
Okay, don't worry. Okay,
you.
just welcome. Just to clarify, the ones that are not here, Daniela Lozada, Diana Lisette Lozada, Stephanie Córdoba.
Here, I'm here. Sorry for being late.
Okay, don't worry. Stephanie, right?
Yes, teacher.
So only 2 people are absent. Okay. Let's share the whole screen. Well, guys, of course, we're going to continue working on units number 3. In this case, we'll be working on pages 30 and 31. There are 2 different components that we will be studying tonight, I hope. First of all, talking about vocabulary related to crime and punishment. Most of you are already familiar with that topic. We studied that from a different perspective on the previous cycle. But anyway, we're going to refresh our memory with some vocabulary. And then in the, let's say, linguistic part, we continue talking about those tenses that we use when we're talking about narrative things. Yesterday, we're talking about like 4 main tenses focused on talking about anecdotes and things from the past. In this case, we're talking about continuous aspects. And of course, as you can imagine, that means that our point of reference would be continuous tenses. Let's start by refreshing our memory, talking about vocabulary related to crime and punishment. Guys, I'm gonna send you this link to the chat, and this Kahoot, a very short one, it's about vocabulary related to crime and punishment. So I invite you to click on the link or use the QR code, whatever you prefer. And let's refresh our memory with this vocabulary. We are supposed to be 21. I hope that all of you can participate. Hopefully the connection is good enough. Okay, what an idiot me. There you have. Okay, it wouldn't be Kahoot if we don't listen to the annoying noise. There it is. I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds so you guys take part of the game. Okay, 16. Ready? We We have Brian, Niger. Okay. Jimena, Natalie, Daniela Sierra, Andrea, Silvia, Mayra Pinzón, Andres Alvarez. Now Mayra Plata is here. Angelica Lisset, Steph, Andrea, Christian, FFG, Ana V, and Sarai. Well, guys, let's start. Vocabulary related to crime and punishment is more related to like different types of crimes. I'm sure that you are already familiar with that vocabulary. Of course, as usual, the intention is to refresh your memory. Well, I was like extending a few seconds. That is great that John and Jolie are also here. Let's start. It's very short. How do we call this? A thief goes into your house through a window and steals your valuables. It is burglary. Okay, that's always the idea of burglary, like getting into a place. And in this case, also causing damage on the building or the office, well. Steph, excellent. Well, let's move it. A shield is a candy from a store. If a child steals a candy, that is shoplifting. Probably with this first part, shop, we can guess it as well. But anyway. Now Christian is in first place. Next. Sorry for the typo. Illegally bringing things across the border. It is smuggling. Well, technically it's not robbing, you know, like that crime that you take things that you shouldn't take to a different place. Yes, Daniela, I already did. Remind me when we finish the Kahoot, please.
Sorry, teacher.
Remind me when we finish the Kahoot so I can make the adjustment on the attendance.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Jimena, good. Throwing garbage on the ground. That's littering. Vandalism, I guess it doesn't count like that, but the specific name is littering. John, very good. The amount of time you have to spend in prison. Law people, this is your time to shine. That's the sentence. I don't want to specify on the other words because they will appear later on the game, but that will be the name, the sentence. Actually, it's pretty transparent. No changes, no changes. To take a person and ask their family for money. Kidnap. Okay, I'm really like wondering why you choose the other possibilities, but okay. We're refreshing our memory. And in case that you don't remember, well, this is the moment like to clarify those words. Christian, again, first place. A street crime in which they hit you and steal valuable things, phone, sneakers. The hitting part, it's very important in order to, let's say, decide which of these words is the one related to that crime. It is mugging. You know, with pickpocketing, probably you don't even notice, you know, like but probably it is going to appear later, but whatever. The person like takes something from your bag, you're walking on the street, the person appears and you don't even notice it. Mugging, there is violence included, okay? Okay. Asking people to pay you in order to keep secrets. Another typo. I was tired, I guess. Blackmailing, absolutely. Remember that burglary already appeared, that is like you get into a building, damaging things. That's the idea of burglary. This case, just to blackmail. Changes, no changes. Taking somebody's money, phone, object without their knowing. Pickpocketing, remember what we said. You don't notice. The thing is that your object just happens to disappear from your bag or your purse. That would be it. The thing is that probably we consider that at the end of the day, all mean the same, you know, but each crime has a specific name. That's the point. So you may think, okay, but it's a robbery and they are stealing from you. But the technical name, like or not the technical, the specific name of this type of action, it's pickpocketing. That's it. If you break a rule, you have to pay a. We gotta be careful. Well, a price, we are definitely not getting any good or service, right? And the case of the difference, if we wanna make it a little bit more specific between fine and fee is the amount of money that you pay for a service, you know? While fine is something that you pay because you have broken anything. Well, just to clarify, fine would be multa, while fee is quota. FFT. Giving money to the police or government for a favor or to avoid a penalty. Unfortunately, quite common. It is a bribe. Nothing to say. Nothing to say, literally. Mm-hmm. That's piracy. Final one. Absolutely. Sylvia, perfect. Third place. On second place, FFD, almost. Right, almost. And I think as usual, Christian winning the Kahoots, and Steph and Mayra also as runners-up. Let me stop sharing sound. Okay, as I was telling you guys, the idea was to refresh our memory in terms of some vocabulary. One of the discussions that I remember that we had at that point, we said that at the end of the day, they look pretty much the same, the vocabulary that we were checking, but you already noticed that each crime has a very specific name. Let's go back to the book. Remember, guys, that we are working on pages 30 and 31. And in this case, we have a kind of quiz, okay? We're going to read this questionnaire. And it is based on that context of how harsh or lenient you are. Guys, do you remember what harsh is?
No.
Let's see if we have extra help from the group.
Like estricto.
That would be like very strict.
Being tough.
Daniela, yes. Being tough as well. Very good. And we could say that the opposite, or yeah, the opposite. It is lenient. So what would be a synonym for lenient if we already know that harsh is being strict, being tough, being hard on someone? While you tell me, I want to change Daniela's attendance. So what is lenient,
Forgiving.
guys? Forgiven? Okay.
Permissive.
Permissive as well. Okay. Very good. Well, let's have a look at the quiz. You know, the idea, guys, is to tick the punishment you think is most appropriate for each crime. Of course, I will ask some of you to read the question, to choose the answer, like in your opinion, would be the most appropriate for the situation. But the invitation is that all of you guys, of course, in your books, take the quiz as well. Let's see, let me zoom out a little bit. This is the part that we'll be working on, okay? There are 7 questions. Once again, don't forget the invitation. You are also answering the quiz on yourselves. Let me put this a little bit so I can display the list and I can ask you to start reading the questions. So let's begin with question number 1. Andrea Bach, read please the question, all the possibilities, and your answer.
Okay. A university students buy an easy online and submits
Submits.
it as her own. The university recognizes the essay
Answer.
as plagiarism. She should receive a warning. She should be expelled. She should be prosecuted for fraud. Otherwise,
Okay.
What?
So, Andrea, for the moment, there are 3 possibilities. The question would be if you choose one of those possibilities, or you would add something extra. That is why at the end it says other and what. So what do you think?
I think the first one, she should receive a warning.
Why, Andrea? Because plagiarism is a very delicate issue, you know? But from your perspective, why a warning is like enough?
Well, yes, I know that is that is a fault, a bad fault, but maybe sometimes the person did that without intention. So maybe he make a mistake, and I don't know. Maybe he can explain the situation. So if he can explain that, maybe this one could be correct. Receive a warning.
Okay. Well, Andrea, what I see that from your perspective, I'm gonna give Freddy the word in a minute. From your perspective, like the person made the mistake, like probably when we are changing up styles and then you misuse the rule. But don't forget the context. The student bought it online, like she paid for it. Freddy, what do you think? Do you agree with Andrea?
I'm going for number 2. She should be expelled
Why
from the
would that be?
university. Yeah, because if you're taking something that is from the literature, you should be able to recognize that where the knowledge comes from or the ideas.
Okay, Freddy, thank you. I also saw another raised hand.
Yes, teacher, I think that the first, maybe for a school student, but a university student, I think that should be prosecuted for fraud.
For
For
fraud.
me, yes, I think.
Okay, well, of course. Well, for the moment, you are just giving like your opinion. Of course, Andrea already explained why she considered the warning was enough. And I really like guys when you share your ideas. Perfect. For the moment, different opinions. Let's have a look at question number 2. I would like to ask Sarai to read it.
Oh, sorry.
Let me turn the volume up.
The second, teacher.
Yes.
A 12-year-old girl consistently plays truant from school. The parents say that the child won't listen to them and they are powerless to help. She should be suspended. She should be expelled. Her parents should be prosecuted.
Cute. That wish like
And other. For me,
wait. There is a question in the chat. Harold is saying, what's the meaning of play a truant? Andrea says
Skipping.
ausente, I think. Yes? I heard a voice, but I interrupted, sorry.
I skipping class, I said.
Speaking class, like you're supposed to go to class, but then you say, let's not go to class, that's not a problem. That would be the idea, Harold, okay? Well, Sarai, what do you think? It's a 12-year-old, you know, we're talking about a school. We're not talking about the university level. What do you think should happen in that case?
in my case, I chose other. I recommend to send, no, to sí, ay, no sé cómo se dice, to send the girl on a cycle, no, on a
Psychologist?
Yes, a psychologist.
Okay. Yeah, like to see what is happening, right?
Yes, the girl have one reason to do that, or maybe she don't know, doesn't know that she does have no that does these things have ¿cómo se dice?
Have a what? What do you mean?
A bad consequence.
Okay. Okay, Sarah, you managed. Absolutely. Well, it is quite young. Yeah, Gilbert?
Sorry. So I don't know what is exactly the meaning of place tron.
Well, let's ask Harold because he asked first. So Harold, let's explain Gilbert what place a trant is.
Okay, Tran is like I don't know, a student doesn't go to the school, and maybe he's absent for that. I don't know.
Yeah, Harold, and also like taking Freddy's word, skipping classes. Like you're supposed to be at a school, but then you decide to go to a different place. That's the idea of play a trant.
Okay, thank you. So how we pronounce tra truan? No, I don't know.
Yeah, it is trant.
Truant, okay.
Teacher, I have a question.
Sure. Tell me.
I understand. I understand the word place for the context, yes, but place trans the words. What is the meaning exactly?
Well, actually, we can say that there is a compound verb.
Oh,
When you say
okay.
to play a truant means to skip classes. You don't, I mean, there is, truant alone would be like the adjective. For example, in this case, the girl is a truant, okay? And the girl plays a truant every day. Let's put it like that. So that would be the action. We need to put play in order to make it a verb, but only truant would be the way to describe the person.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
Okay, very good. Okay. So Sarah was very polite, very open-minded, and she says, okay, let's send the girl to a psychologist. Natalie, what about number 3? Natalie. Well, Natalie is not here in this minute in particular. Let me ask Daniela Fernanda.
Read 3 questions, teacher.
Yeah, situation 3.
A family with 8 children are living in the quiet street. They are very noisy and the neighborhood complained of her antisocial behavior. They are renting their house. The family should be evicted. The parents should be prosecuted. The neighborhood should learn to cope, and others.
The neighbors.
The neighbors and others.
Okay. So, Daniela.
Answer?
8 children. Yeah, of course.
Okay. I believe
8
that.
children. Oh, my God.
I don't know.
No, I don't know is not an answer, Daniela.
I believe the first be evicted.
Be evicted?
Better
Okay.
and better her behavior. You know,
Improve.
because when you are, yes, improve their behavior and talk with their 8 children to live in well or better.
To live better. Okay. Frey, agree or disagree?
I disagree. Maybe I will add a new one. Maybe sending the family like a final warning. If they keep that behavior going, they should leave the neighborhood, no? To find a new place. Because maybe when they said that antisocial behavior, I could understand that they are maybe doing some vandalism around. That's crime.
Okay, so warning first. That is a good policy. Stephanie, what about you?
I think that the first option is impossible. It's a neighborhood. It's not apartment, flat. So,
Well, actually, we don't really know. It says quiet street. They're renting a house. Okay. So it is a house. So Stephanie, sorry, I interrupted you.
yeah, so why the police should be should how is it? ¿Cómo se dice sacar? Should evict the family. It is, I don't know, it's illogical.
Okay, so in your case, like the first one is not even a choice. Interesting. Sylvia.
Sorry, teacher. Teacher, the meaning of evict es como desalojar o rechazar o...
No, desalojar.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Angelica is asking the meaning of cope. Cope, well, Angelica, a good synonym would be deal with. Let me send it to the chat. Probably, guys, if you want to chip in. But that is
To take an action?
Sorry, Freddy.
Maybe to take actions? About the
No, it's
more
maybe
like resisting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like live with this. With this.
It goes like, for example, how do you cope with, let's say, annoying neighbors? Let's say, okay, I listen to quiet music, relaxing sounds. So it goes like on that line. Well,
in Spanish, like sobrellevar. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, Andrea, that would be it. Lidiar as well.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Let's have a look at number 4, Brian. Please. Brian, Miguel.
Tell me, teacher.
Read number 4.
Okay. A 20-year-old man is arrested for drink driving after causing a minor accident. It is the first time he has been arrested. He should be left off with a warning. He should lose his license. He should be given 2,000 hours of
2,000, Brian?
200. Sorry, teacher, I get nervous. 200 hours of community service. Other, what?
What do you think?
I think the third one.
The community service? Okay. Minor
Yes.
accident, first time. What type of community service would you suggest, Brian?
Maybe to assist of a course of driving and alcoholic warnings.
To attend a course, not to assist, to attend.
This course could be to Farrington that he has a mistake and
Made a mistake.
and he has to repair it.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Ana Maria and Judy are harsh, like no questions asked. Lose his license. Why, Judy? I'm gonna ask Judy.
Because I know is his first time, but it's very irresponsible. Irresponsible. What happened if he I don't say it like choca?
If he had hit?
If he had hit with
crashed?
some,
No, actually crashed would be better. If he had crashed.
with sorry, with he have a sorry, with he crash with someone like I don't know, like a child or something like that.
Okay, that will be complicated. Andrea says for the first time, no.
I think that in other countries, when when happen an accident and it's the first time, put a notice in his license, but don't lose in this moment. Yes, it backs again, it happen again, lose, but for the fifth time, I think that no.
If I'm not mistaken, like it depends on how, let's say, problematic it was, because you start losing points. But if it is like a very dramatic thing, probably it can lead into losing it.
Maybe the level of the drunk is better too.
Okay. Interesting points of view. Let's have a look at number 5, Freddy.
Okay. Number 7.
Number 5.
Number 5, sorry. A homeless man is arrested for begging in the city center. The local laws do not allow begging, and he has been arrested several times for the same crime. He should be left off with a warning. He should be prosecuted. He should be fined. Other what?
So what do you think, Freddy?
Maybe he should be let off with a warning, I think, because it's someone that is begging. I think that person doesn't have money to pay a fine.
Okay.
So he should be let off with a warning, and if it happens again, they should call the police and then be prosecuted or arrested.
Okay. Thank you, Freddy. A different opinion, guys?
Yes, Jeremy.
All right. Well, Angelica, what do you think?
I think that maybe she have to pay, but no with money. Maybe work community, service, community service, because maybe they have no money enough to pay that, but maybe the action to pay that something is no okay or no permit in this city, it's a good point to he understand that he couldn't do it.
Okay, very good. Different perspective, nice. Well, what about to finish this very interesting quiz? I would like to ask Joely to read number 6.
A student is arrested for writing political graffiti on a building. His parents should be caught. He should have to pay a damage. He should be prosecuted. Other. I think that his parents should be caught.
And do you think any extra action should be taken, Joely?
Maybe for the parents, because he's a student.
Okay. A different opinion, not one, 2 different opinions. Freddy, what about you?
Well, I think that he should pay for the damage, because if there were no permission to do the graffiti on the wall, he should learn that it is really important to respect places that are private property, instead of maybe warning him. That will be, I think, and also to be educated, to someone to teach him about the importance to respect the public places.
Absolutely. Andrea, what about you? Agree, disagree?
Maybe, yes. Maybe if he don't pay because maybe don't have money.
Doesn't pay, doesn't have money.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. That cleans the graffiti. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe does social service for learn.
To learn.
Yes, to learn.
Okay, very good. Final one. Let me ask John.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, John.
What is the final part?
Number 7.
Okay. A mother of 2 young children is charged with the possession of illegal drugs and found guilty. She should be sentenced to 6 months in jail. She should be given a suspending sentence. Her children should be taken into care. Other.
What do you think?
Well, that's
This is delicate.
Yes. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to think about it to give my opinion.
Okay. While you think about it, Freddy raised his hand. What do you think, Freddy? This is probably the most complicated of all from my point of view.
Yeah, I think that she should, her children should be taken into care because she's like the role model for them, and they are learning from her behavior. They are her children, so I think that's really important to take care of the children and send them to, how do you call that? To a shelter, maybe, or how do you say orfanato? Orphanage?
Yeah, like an orphan.
An orphan, yeah.
So, John.
I think that her. Yes. Okay, I think that her children should be taken into care, as well as she should be sentenced, of course, to 6 months in jail, because that is something completely wrong. She need to, I don't know if that is correct, the word, or well, she need to pay for it. But well, that's difficult because as she's a mother of 2 young children is difficult. It's going to be difficult for them, of course, completely different. That is something that is going to be remarkable for them completely in their life. Is going to affect them, and well, but it's something that it must happen. I think that is my point of view.
Of course, John. Thank you very much. And there was one voice just to finish this part. Like an extra opinion to wrap up this kind of quiz. Okay. Well, guys, of course, there are different situations. Somehow we can consider that at some point our opinion could be a little bit subjective. Notice that everybody had a different opinion. But the idea, of course, was for you like to provide your insights, to see how much you agreed, and of course, to speak. At the end of the day, that's the main intention of this type of activities. Guys, on your books, remember on page 31, here we have 5 cartoons, okay? There they are. I already zoomed in. Notice the cartoon that we have in here. I only placed 4 in my slide, but as you already noticed here, we have 5. Let me go back. And guys, what you're going to do is to have a look at the 5 cartoons. As I told you, I put 4 in here, but the idea that you do all the 5, and you're going to choose the best answer to complete the cartoons. As you see, of course, the image is a very important point of reference in order to decide the best grammatical, let's say, combination that we need. Notice that in all of them we have two. In number one, we have lost, been losing. Number two, read, be reading. Number three, spelled, been spelling. Number four says break, be breaking. And in the case of number five, we have drank, been drinking, stolen, and been stealing. The idea, guys, is that you have a look at all the cartoons, like very carefully. And the idea is to decide which is the best choice in order to complete it so it all makes sense. So guys, do you have any questions about the instructions?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Listen to my question. Do you have any questions about
teacher.
instructions?
No,
Okay.
teacher.
I know it's Friday and we are tired. Don't worry. I'm gonna
Sorry.
give you 7 minutes. I know that well, actually 5. You don't need that much. And then we check 5 minutes starting now.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
You send a message that activate the turn on the my makeup.
Did I send it? I'm sorry. No, no, no.
Yes.
I don't know what I did, but that wasn't my intention.
Okay,
Thank you,
no
Angelica.
worries.
No, you know, Angelica, what I'm doing, I'm checking the attendance. That's the thing. Maybe I was like having a look at it, but no, no, no. That was not what I wanted you to do.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me finish it. Okay. Okay, I know who's absent now. Okay. Well, guys, in this case, the idea was basically to have a look at the cartoons, the 5 cartoons. As I already told you, I was just displaying 4 in here, but we had the 5th one on our book. And the idea was to choose the correct, let's say, grammatical form in order to make it like complete. And of course, the idea would all make sense at the end of the day. Let's have a look at some of your answers, some voices that I haven't heard tonight. Andres, what about number 1? How would it be now all complete?
Okay, teacher. I read the complete sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really upset. I paid for an A, but I've lost the receipt.
Absolutely. Very similar to one of the situations that we read. In this case, talking about the simple form, right?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. That was perfect. Let's have a look at number 2. Jennifer Jimena.
Okay, teacher. 5 minutes from now, our friends on Facebook will read about. Sorry, 5 minutes from now, our friends on Facebook will read all about this.
Why the simple tense? Do you agree? Let's put it like this. Mayra Plata, do you agree?
Yes, teacher. The third one, right?
No, the second.
Sorry. 5 minutes from now, our friends on Facebook will be reading all about this.
Ah, okay, so you disagree. In this case, it's the continuous form. We are expecting this action to be in progress in the future. We will refresh our memory on that in a few seconds. Ana Maria, what about number 3?
I think you been spelling her name wrong. I think it's been spelling.
Anna, remember that yesterday when we were talking about the narrative tenses, if we put it into progress, that means that is still happening, you know? Let me see the chat. Stephanie says spelled, and if we look at the image, it's already written, right?
Okay, yes. Very good.
Very good. Of course, I mean, it doesn't mean that we can't never use that grammatical conjugation. Yes, but once again, with the context, it is in progress, or like in this case, it has just finished the action. Let's have a look at number 4. I'm going to ask. Well, I think that is, okay. One person is not here. Gilbert.
Yes, teacher, can you hear me? Okay, the 4th one. Okay, is stay away or you will break it.
That would be it. Looks like more like a warning, right? And remember, guys, that we had also number 5. In this case, I mean, in number 5, we had 2 conjugations to choose. Natalie.
Teacher, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Number 5. How did you complete number 5?
Stealing. Being stealing.
Notice that there are 2, right? Drunk or been drinking, stolen and been stealing. So read the whole thing, not only the missing part. Please.
No, officer, I haven't been drinking, but I think someone has stolen my steering wheel.
Steering wheel. Very good. Let me zoom out a little bit. Remember that we were having a look at these 5 cartoons as I was telling you in the previous slide. I had 4, but all of you guys have the book, so it wasn't like a real problem to you. Jennifer, you raise your hand. Yes, tell us.
Thanks, teacher. Yes, I have thought about the second. The way that we can identify that its future continuous is for the phrase that says from now, or it's like something arranged for the about the future and not a probability. Maybe
Well, in this case, it is more, well, it is, you're asking if it is also probability?
Yes, if we use will read only and no will read.
I see your point. Yeah, if we use it like on simple form, it looks more like a prediction to be done in the future, right? While the progressive form, somehow, we are already stating that the action, let's say, will take progress, in this case, 5 minutes from now. And that is why you said that if the from now is like the key point to recognize if it is going to be progressive, right?
Yes, teacher.
Not necessarily, because we can say also 5 minutes from now, people will read. It is not like that, like a bulletproof, rule. It is also like our perception, like it is a prediction or what we are kind of sure will be in progress, in this case, later in the future.
Okay, yes, I understood. Thanks, teacher.
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, guys, we have been talking about grammar like way too much. I'm sure that you have already noticed that. And somehow these, let's say 3 grammatical components are a kind of continuation, we already know that when we're talking about the continuous forms, we are talking about actions that represent duration or repetition. Basically, as the name states, what we want to do is to show progress. For the moment, we're going to focus on 3 different progressive, or in this case, continuous aspects. We already know present continuous. We have already discussed perfect tenses, in this case, present perfect continuous. And of course, we have future continuous. If we analyze the 3 grammatical components, they all have something in common. First of all, the verb to be. We can say that without verb to be, there is not continuous form, not only the ing. We can say that the ing is like the obvious part, but the verb to be is the beginning of it. And depending on the tense is the type of verb to be. We already know that we have is, could be are, could be am in case of present. In the case of perfect tenses, the, let's say, conjugation of verb to be that we need is been. In the case of future continuous, what we are using will be. Okay, we already know that we can use other types of future. We know the existence of going to as well, or even the inclusion of other modals. We can say he would be working, but a kind of prediction, Let's use will for the moment when we talk about actions that take progress in the future. And of course, the ing form. As you already know, guys, but I wanted to include this extra information just like to refresh your memory. We gotta be careful because not all verbs in English can go in any progressive form. Not present, not perfect, not future. It is very important to keep in mind that we can't, literally can't, compare it to Spanish. because in some cases in Spanish, it makes sense. For example, the verb understand. We think that, okay, I can say in Spanish, no estoy entendiendo, but probably that happens when we are studying certain topics. And for us, that makes sense. But understand is considered a verb more like an state. Or you understand, or you don't understand. Once again, we see this combination that it's like already crossed, and we think, but I get the idea of that because we use Spanish, with progression, sorry, in Spanish with more flexibility compared to English. So when we have those verbs that are related to a state, it is not grammatically correct to use it in progressive forms. Now, probably if you have already traveled from movies, if you have friends, you know, abroad, they're going to say that you find this combination, you know, I mean, it would be like a complete lie to say that nobody probably uses a conjugation like that. But remember that we're in an academic context, you know, so that means that we are going to require you to use it in the proper form. So for example, understand, need, and like, among others, can't be used in progressive form. Also, that happens with love, with prefer, with hate, with think, but when we use think to say like, my opinion is not the cognitive process, because in that case, of course, we can use it in continuous form. So when it is a state, it can go in progress. We can use it in other situations. And remember that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it is present, if it is perfect, or if it is future. My idea is to talk about duration, repetition, or progression, as the name states. Okay? Guys, questions?
No question.
Okay. The idea is to know when to use it, and once again, similar to what we already pointed out yesterday, the intention that you have. You want to say something in simple terms. You want to point out the progression. At the end of the day, that's up to the author, to the speaker. Well, guys, we're going to practice, of course. I'm gonna send you to breakout rooms. You will work in pairs. Well, I think that groups of 3, in case that some of you have any problem with connection, so there is not like one person doing the whole activity by him or herself. You're going to choose the best answers to complete the conversations below. So in this case, we have, let's say, 6 mini conversations, a little bit similar to what you were doing here on the cartoons. And the intention for you is to choose the proper form, like which makes sense based on the question. Notice that we have, I would say, more context in order to choose in a better way the grammatical form that actually fits the intention, in this case, of the speakers. Notice that we have the 2 possibilities. In some cases, we have simple forms. In other cases, we have the progressive forms. That is going to be the idea. Of course, intention, guys, for you to be working in groups is that all of you participate, all of you provide your opinion. And then, as usual, when we get back, I'm going to ask you to tell me the answers that you chose. So I really, really hope that everybody participates while choosing the answers. There are 6 questions. I'm gonna create 6 groups. As usual, let me check. Okay, I already saw the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, guys, in total, you're going to have 10 minutes from the moment that everybody arrives to the group. Then we get back and we share and we discuss. Let me make sure that you can share your screen so I don't forget it. There it is. Let's start.
Teacher? We don't need the link of the the chat.
Angelica, no, in this case, you're going to use the book.
Okay. thank you.
Ah, I was sharing the PowerPoint. Ah, me odio.
Hi.
Hi, Daniela. You are still in the general call, Daniela. You haven't arrived to room 1. Brian hasn't arrived to group 2. And Angelica, you are supposed to go to room 3. Didn't the invitation appear, Daniela? And Angelica as well.
No, no, teacher. I am in. I don't know.
You are in the general call. I'm going to make a trick. I'm going to send you to another group, and then I will take you back to room 1, okay?
Okay,
You're supposed
teacher.
to be in room 1, Daniela. So let me see if that works. I'm going to send you to group 2. I already did the change, Daniela. Didn't it work? Did it?
No, I don't know why. Don't let me. Okay.
Well, Daniela, why don't
let
you
me
log
see.
out of the session and then come back? Like you leave the class and then come back.
Sorry, teacher. I'm in the room 6, please.
Room
Hi.
6.
I know.
Relax,
What?
Daniela. But yeah, Silver, you're in room 6. The 2 accounts are placed in room 6.
Teacher, a question.
Yes, Stephanie.
Is this practice the one?
Yeah, part 1.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Welcome.
Teacher, sorry.
Yes, Andrea?
Can you send the link, please?
It's not a link, my mistake. I noted that I was sharing my PowerPoint. It's this exercise on page 31,
Okay.
practice 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
teacher, thanks.
My full mistake. Okay,
Okay.
thank you for asking.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Ajá, Sarai, la pillé. Sarai, where are you?
Me sacó el internet otra vez.
Don't worry, Sarai. Group number 4? Okay.
Sí, porfis.
There you go. Lista la invitación.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, teacher.
How's everything?
Teacher, we need your help.
Okay, tell me.
In the last one, we don't know what of the answer is the better choice.
The best choice?
Yeah.
In general, teacher, we can recognize very well the difference between will be and verb in ing and will the verb plus verb.
Only the verb, yeah.
Well, the choices that you have in this case, they are correct. Like we can say that in this case, talking about petrol, you are not running out, like se acabó. You don't have more in your car, right? And then it is like, I guess it was, I don't remember the person who was Ana Maria. When we make it in this case simple, without progression, it looks more like a prediction. Because, of course, if you took the car of someone and you run out of petrol, you will get into trouble. I mean, it is not like there will be a process while the trouble appears. No. That's something that will happen.
Okay.
You don't look convinced, but okay.
Because the question is because we have problems to identify the answer of 2B and for B2.
To B or B2?
Yeah, because we have to choose the future time, but we didn't know
to B.
the answer. Yeah.
Let me check all. The first one is correct. I have been wrong. Number 2, are you looking forward to leave prison? I can't wait. This time next year, I'll be lying on the beach. I lie on the beach. Well, the thing is that you're talking about what you consider you will be doing in the future. Like by this time in the future, that the action that you consider to be in progress.
Be lying is the answer.
Be lying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sí.
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat the reason?
Because you're projecting yourself into the future. So you see in a point that eventually that's the action that is going to be in progress. Like by that time, you see yourself in that continuous action, in this case, lying on the beach, not like a finished action, but an action that you hope to be doing in that moment or at that point of your future.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that it's a tricky subject. I'm not going to lie that it is something that you discover at the beginning. I guess that people need 2 more minutes. I'm gonna put them in my timer. It is something that requires like time, but eventually it gets easier. Let's have a look at number 3. Have you broken? Okay, very good. Yes, I've dropped. I mean, we can imagine something being dropping, like se está cayendo, ¿no?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Number 4.
The answer is be doing.
Be doing.
Okay, no, I mean, I need to read the situations. Although I've read them, I forget what they are about. I'll give you a read over the weekend. Okay, but don't call me on Sunday evening. I'll be doing exactly. So that is like what the person projects to, like
in the future.
That action in progress in that point in life. So the thing is that I see that okay, be doing like the darker one is the answer, right? Because I see that you I was like wondering, but why do you have both? Okay, but you already told me why that you were talking about the progressive one. Number 5, don't drive so fast. You lose, absolutely. Like that is the prediction. Like if you continue doing that, that is going to be the final result. And also notice in number 5 that it is conditional. You lose your license if the police catch you. And remember that in this type of combination, one type is in future simple and the other one is in present simple. Like a whole context. Okay, ladies, but in general aspects, you had more of the answers correct. Probably the one that you were wondering would be like number 2, but the other ones were just fine.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
I'm going to get back to announce that we have like a minute left and then we will check our answers. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks.
Well, guys, welcome back. We got some extra minutes. I was visiting a group. And one of the conclusions that we got was that, okay, it's kind of, let's say, tricky in some cases, identify in which moment it's a simple or continuous form. I can like keep on repeating. The continuous form always shows duration or repetition, like that is the main intention of that. But we will always need context, guys, because based on what we have in mind, probably we want to meet something that is simple, or in some cases, I want to show progression. So like it is a little bit tricky, you know, to identify that part, but eventually with time, it gets more natural to be identified. Well, let's see. We had situation number 1. Of course, I'm going to ask group number 1 to act it out. Let's put it like that. Daniela Fernanda, please read A, and Jennifer Jimena, read B.
What are the police doing outside?
I called them. Our neighbors have been rowing again.
Good. Also, the again is giving us that hint, once again, like the action being repeated. And guys, what's the meaning of rowing? Did you look it up? It's
Maybe
more like
to
a
be
British
loud.
thing. To be
Like
loud?
steal?
Like what? Sorry? I didn't hear.
Steal? Like steal?
Like from the family of robbery? No, not really. Well, probably if you are rowing, you could be loud. That would be like a consequence. Any other possibilities? Someone wants
No,
to help
teacher,
us?
I don't know the meaning.
Okay, don't worry. Well, it's, as I was telling you guys, it's more like a British thing. When we're talking about rowing, is when we have like an argument with someone, you know? That is why Freddie said, like being loud. If usually when there is an argument, you get loud, right?
Like a dispute?
That would be the idea.
But it's the same thing like the sport.
Like which one?
The sport, the row no es también como remar, solo el row.
The spelling, yeah, the spelling is similar. It's actually the same. But well, in this case, it will be weird. But if we put more context, maybe they have a rowing machine and then they are making a lot of noise and then you call the police, but that would be like a lot of extra information and imaginary situations. As I was telling you, it's more like a British expression, let's put it like that. Of course, well, you use it whenever you want to use it, but belongs more to the British part. In conclusion, have been rowing. Let's have a look at number 2. Freddy, you're going to read A and Stephanie B.
Okay. Are you looking forward to leaving prison?
I can wait. This time next week, I will be lying on the beach.
Very good. So you project yourself on that future action to be happening for you at that point in the future. If we put it simple, we will be like an action finished in the future, but hopefully that is an action to be in progress and a nice one in this specific case. Group number 3. Mayra Pinzon, you are going to read A, and Angelica, you are going to read B.
Have you broken something?
Yes, I broke a glass.
Very good. In these 2 cases, we needed like single or simple events, right? We were discussing in a group, like, okay, it is like kind of impossible to imagine the thing being like in a progress of dropping, like, I don't know, in a kind of low motion camera or thing like that. So once again, if we put too much imagination, that can work against us. So the thing is simple. That would be it. It dropped, period. Number 4. In the case of number 4, okay, in the same 2 interactions. Andrea, please read A, and Mayra Plata read B.
I'll give you a ring over the weekend.
I had to read the B, right?
Yes, Mayra.
Okay.
Mayra read B.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, yeah, Mayra reads B.
Oh my God.
We're tired, I know.
Okay, but don't call me on Sunday evening. I will be doing my daughter's homework.
Very good. Once again, that's an action that you project in progress in the future. If we say it in a simple form, we mean that the action is going to be finished, but not, it's going to be in progress. Situation number 5 doesn't have like a kind of interaction, it's just a statement. Christian, could you read it, please?
Don't drive so fast. There is the answer I have it here. You lose. Page change. Don't drive so fast. You lose your license if the police catch you.
That would be it. Once again, based on the context, there is only one consequence to happen. We can assume that it will be a progression. And also, guys, I was telling another group that if we keep into account like the characteristics of other grammatical structures, that could help us as well. Notice that the second statement, it is an idea, using first conditional. You lose your license if the police catch you. One part in future and the other part in present simple. That is also like a way to, let's say, to discover it as well. And we have group number 6. Anna Maria, you are going to read A, and Harold, you are going to read B.
I will run out of petrol. Maybe I can borrow Diana's car.
You will get into trouble.
Very good. Once again, simple events. There is no way to make it like a progressive form of running out of petrol. Like you see how the petrol is going away or disappearing, something like that. And once again, how can we make a process of the travel being in a continuous form? I think that is a way to see the answers. But okay. Oops, I was expecting them to be like highlighted in the conversation. Here they are. Just in case you want to compare. So once again, this whole grammatical component requires a lot of time, a lot of practice, and then it becomes more natural. But at the end of the day, you will notice that you use whatever you feel more comfortable with. The invitation is always to start using more complex tenses. That is one of the things that I hope actually to see from the activity that we were doing yesterday, not only past simple, which is not incorrect. Of course, it is correct. You convey meaning, there's communication, but we're about to move to B2, guys. So we need to, let's say, vary a little bit more. Questions? I hear a microphone open. Maybe. Okay. Well, guys, I'm not going to torture you anymore. Just a couple of reminders to wrap up the session. Remember that on next Thursday, we have our speaking exam. On our session number 9, we will have a look at the parameters, but I already gave you like the general idea, very, very general on session number 1. Just like to remind you what it is about. Okay, guys, as usual, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend and see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thanks, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Good night.
teacher.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Take care, everybody.